How would you term Shedeur Sanders still being available tonight? 32 mistakes on Thursday night?
Yeah.
Or a fair evaluation by the league of his next level abilities?
So as a college football analyst, I watched these guys. I watched them develop, pretty much from day one until they reach to the point where they're draft eligible. And I always felt that Shedeur was the most NFL-ready quarterback just by what he did on the field. I mean, you're looking at a young man who resurrected not one but two programs. Mm-hmm. So for him to go to HBCU, Jackson State, and resurrect that program to the point where it was so relevant that Game Day arrived there. Now, you can't just put it all on Deion Sanders because we also have some high-profile former NFL players who are coaching HBCUs too, and we haven't been on their campus. So it's kind of bigger than Deion Sanders. If Deion Sanders was there at Jackson State, but they were losing games and struggling, we don't show up. It wasn't a charity, visit. So I say that because the role that Shedeur Sanders played in elevating that program. This is a program that, if you know anything about college football and HBCUs, they don't have the facilities. They don't have the resources. They don't have the funding. They don't have anything that this Power 5 or Power 4 schools has, but they were able to resurrect that program to a level of relevance. Then they moved on to Colorado. Things are going so well for Colorado right now that people forget how terrible it was 3-4 years ago. Like, they were awful.
One win.
Deion
came in and told everybody to get their Louis Vuittons because he was making them all pack up and move out.
And he got his own Louis.
Yes, he did.
And that's Shedeur. So then he moved on, and he did it now at the Power 5 or Power 4 level and resurrected another program. So you're looking at a young man who I think because of his history of resurrecting these programs, winning, in the process, taking a butt kicking. Like, he didn't have a great offensive line in Jackson State, and he didn't have a great offensive line in Colorado, but he wasn't the guy who sat there and complained. He put the team on his shoulders, and obviously he had a freak with him in Travis Hunter, but outside of that, they had to make it work. So I felt as though he was the one who's most NFL ready, not just by the traits and if you had a big arm or you got, you're a dual threat and you're like the fastest quarterback in the draft, but the mental fortitude to go through what he's going to have to experience at that next level. When you watch these analysts talk on TV, you rarely ever hear them talk about the mental rigors that you have to go through as a college player transitioning to an NFL player. You're going to hear about all of these attributes, these traits, these characteristics, blah, 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 blah. But if you talk to a former NFL player, if they're honest with you, they're going to tell you this game is far more mental than physical. And to me, that's the difference when you bring Shedeur Sanders. No player in his 4 years at university has been through the scrutiny of Shedeur Sanders. When you carry that name, you carry that legacy, the microscope is always on you. And to me, he's always handled that extremely well. He's the guy whose nickname is Grown because when he was a little boy, he had the old soul and always acted with a level of maturity of a grown-up.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.